This is Katherine Blanford and Nicole Schreiber. Is it all? You want all three names?
Yeah, you did it already.
But here's why. Because although we have never met before, I have followed you for years on the Instagram. So I see you all the time come up as your full name. So when BT told me that you were here, I was like, oh, I definitely know who she is. But bring them both in. He said you guys were friends, and I love that.
We're not just friends. We're roommates.
Oh, shut up. You really?
Yes, this Catholic girl moved to California in April.
And then this Jew girl scooped her up.
Where'd you go from?
Atlanta.
Right. We talked about that. Yeah. And you are where?
I'm in LA.
From LA or
no? I'm from Detroit.
How long have you been in LA?
About 22 years.
Do you love it? I love it. I love it, but I don't have to live there.
Sure. I mean, I could pick apart any place I live, but
yeah, but I mean, like everybody's all, LA is terrible and there's homeless people and blah, blah, blah. I went there. It looks pretty garbage in some areas, but where it doesn't.
The homelessness is definitely worse than it's ever been. But
if you're homeless, why live in one of the most expensive places? Like if I always thought if I was homeless, I'd get a stick with one of those bags and I'd pack my stuff in and just go like to Missouri or something where I'd fit in.
Well, they're not paying for anything. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Property tax.
Yeah.
Also, he thinks homeless people are completely rational and have a choice of where they're moving.
By the way, I also love that he's like, Missouri is the place that they fit in.
Yeah.
I've never been to Missouri, but that's not much of an endorsement.
I'm just saying.
Most coastline.
Not from Missouri. Yeah.
No, Michigan is.
I'm saying there'd be, I think that I'd want to live somewhere where the climate was better. Most of I don't want to be cold if I'm sleeping outside. And I want to sleep outside in a place where they're used to seeing people that's just old. Like all their homeless people had names. That's old Carl. He lives on the back.
Homeless people are more part of the community in other places.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would imagine in Los Angeles, a lot of people are out there that want to help homeless people as opposed to
no.
Okay.
I've stepped over like 10 homeless people.
Right.
No, I'll steal your wings, mister.
I don't understand. I never know. I see a lady outside my Starbucks all the time. She's holding a sign that says hungry, but then she's got a sack of food, and I'm not mad at her. I'm like, do you really want me to go get you more food, or do you want money, or are you buying drugs? What's going on? I don't know. It bugs me out all the time.
It's like, I don't think that they need a lesson in business, but you do need a lesson in marketing if you're homeless.
Yes, you have to know how to appeal.
Right, exactly.
The dog is the number one thing.
Wait, a dog is my favorite, and then second favorite, anytime somebody has this sign, I give it to them. My favorite is too ugly to strip.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I need another beer.
Yeah, or my favorite is a man in there was a man in Atlanta I always gave money to. His sign just said, "My daughter's too ugly to strip."
No, that's totally.
He was a family man.
I've never seen a stripper sign.
Oh yeah.
Wait, do you know there's like 7 homeless encampments on the street that we live on?
Yes.
Wait, the dude with the TV? Have you seen the guy with the TV?
I tell everybody this
like
is
one you can watch.
When people ask about homeless in LA, I go, they're doing fantastic. They don't. Some of them enjoy it. Some of them are like, this is we're camping. One dude on our street has first of all, he's a duplex. He's got 2 tents.
Yeah, he's a double wide.
And then one of them has a little awning that comes out, and he's at an outside TV that works.
Oh my god!
I mean,
straight up.
I mean, sometimes I don't get the SEC games.
Yeah.
So
you go watch.
there.
I watch these weird videos on YouTube about like tiny homes and stealth camping. You know what that is?
I watch tiny homes, but I don't know what stealth camping is. I'm ready for a new rabbit hole.
Stealth camping is people that get like a U-Haul van or something not that great, and they live in it, but they make it look like a work van so they could park it on your street.
But the inside is ridiculous.
The inside's really nice.
Oh,
and
wow.
some of them are really nice, and some of them just have like sleeping bags in it. But this, so we know a kid named Austin who left Lakeland, Florida, to go out to LA to pursue acting, and like most people, he's had a struggle. So he bought a van that did not run, parked it on the street in an area where you're allowed to keep cars on the street. It does not run. There's no engine in it. And he parked it by a Planet Fitness so that he can go and take a shower every day because it's cheaper to pay $20 a month for that. And he lives in his van, and then he Ubers to auditions and stuff. And I went out and I had to go check it out and see. And then we were driving around LA, and he's like, that somebody lives there. Any van or any utility type vehicle that's on a street somewhere in a residential neighborhood is somebody living in it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I found one.
By the way, has he been doing well?
He's out of the van. Yeah.
Okay, good. I was going to say this is otherwise it's going to be the saddest story.
No. He actually he got first he got to move his van into a church. Then the church let him stay inside.
Mm-hmm.
Now he works for the church, and he actually has a bed and the whole deal.
Smart.
But he's he's been on TV shows and stuff. He's doing good.
Okay.
I'm a casting director and I see someone self-tape with a steering wheel behind them.
The dedication there.
I'm going to consider them a little bit more, though.
There was a guy on that came across on YouTube that lived in one of those tunnels, but it wasn't like one of those tunnels in LA that's under the water thing. Yes.
Wait, lived in a tunnel? What tunnel?
So it's like a hatch that you lift up and you go down, almost like a manhole.
Uh-huh.
And he had a small
I think
area.
you're talking of a sewer.
No.
You're talking about a sewer rat.
It didn't work. No, it didn't work. It was like a utility tunnel. Like you'd go down there and there'd be wires down there. He was able to tap into electric, and then he would go around and he would gather all these things that people put on the curb. Whatever. So this guy convinced him to let him go down in his little hole. Guy had a computer and a monitor and a little cot in there. I mean, he was living great in there, and he was using the power that he plugged into the city, so he didn't have to pay. These people are geniuses. I think we're bringing the best out of people.
I pay so much in rent.
Yeah.
So how long have you two lived together?
Since April.
Yeah, since
April last year.
Yeah, good. And you like it and annoyed by each other yet?
Great. She's on the road a lot, and I have a man, so I'm at his place.
That works
So
out.
we're like, we're not around a lot.
You have a man?
Yes, in Atlanta.
Can I tell you? I want to tell you this, but I don't want to be.
I'm so excited.
Okay. So let me tell Nicole, because you were there. So we're on the Burt cruise, right? And I meet Katherine, and we sit down and we're just BSing, and we start talking about stuff that we're interested. Remember, we were talking about you were asking me about radio wars and things that you heard, and I was like, you have no idea. I had security and all this stuff. It was crazy.
There needs to be a TV show about radio.
Yeah. So we get into this deep conversation. We probably talked for like a half hour. So later on, another comedian. Now, keep in mind, I'm married, and I'm on the cruise with my son. So I was doing nothing more than conversing with Katherine. Another comedian came up to me, and he I don't want to say who it was.
Just tell me.
But I'll do the impression of him, so you'll probably be able to figure out. Somebody came up to, hey, you're talking to Katherine Blanford.
So Mark Norman said, what?
I
thought it would be the next line that gets it.
No. Hey.
I got it.
Hey, yeah. And I go, yeah. And he goes, it's pretty hot. And I go, yeah. I go, she was cool. I go, we were talking about it. And he goes, big black boyfriend. And I go, I'm sorry, what? And he goes, got a boyfriend, understand, likes the black guys. And I was like, oh, okay. I go, thank you for giving me the heads up. I don't know what. It was, I mean, he was doing it to be funny and also to tell me that you had a boyfriend. And I was like, oh, okay. Which, by the way, Carmin, say hi to Katherine.
Good morning.
Carmen's back at the station. Big black boyfriend.
I love that they're looking around for it.
I know.
Everybody always does that.
This voice came in.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh?
Oh, I love this. First of all, many notes here.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mark did his research or if he just saw in my eyes. But
You're saying he's not big?
No. Actually, well, he was big in all the wrong places.
Oh,
I shouldn't say that. And then, wait, Carmin, you do have
I have a black boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
a BBB?
Also from
And she's
Michigan. Also from Michigan. Also blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she blonde?
You guys
I'll
are
tell
similar.
You this, Carmin. He won't be your forever, but
Get up on the mic so he can hear you.
He won't be your forever, but he will be. He'll always be on your mind.
He's a very nerdy black guy.
Yes.
Oh.
And
Yeah, athletic nerd.
so we dated actually like 12 years ago when I first moved to Florida. He was my football coach. And then
There's so much to unpack.
I know. And then, listen. And then he moved away for 10 years and he came back 3 years ago and he hit me up. He was like, hey, I'm back up. So he came back. So this is the second go around. And we've been together.
Go around because you're a free agent now?
No. She's locked in. They're locked in now.
Yeah,
He was
we're
like, hey, remember when I
I was
coached
talking
you in
about
the
the football.
under 12-year-old flag football?
So when I first moved down, there was an all-female football flag league in Sarasota, flag football league. And we lived in the same apartment complex. He saw me walking around when I first moved down here. He was like, hey, you look athletic. Can you throw a football? I said, yes. And
Great line. Great line.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Wait, could you have thrown a football at
Yeah.
the time, or did he teach you?
No,
feel
I
that's a
could.
teaching moment.
She was an athlete. She
I'm very
played,
athletic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've been dating ever since, and they got a great relationship. Didn't work out so great. I don't know. I mean, literally to 2024 that we're talking about this, but her dad was not that excited when he found out.
No.
When we told him live on the air.
On Father's Day.
Didn't talk to her for a year after that.
Are you joking me?
No.
No, we didn't talk for a whole year. Yeah, he stopped paying for school, or he stopped helping me with school. And
By the way,
everything.
also, her father, Mexican.
Yeah.
But that makes sense then. But I get it. No, I see your dad's point of view now.
but also loves Chad now. Now
Yeah.
that they actually met and he wasn't like
Your
bombarded.
dad's like, oh my God, they're human. That's crazy.
Yeah, he came around.
By the way, I'm telling you, every single one of us white women in this room are like, we know that experience.
Yeah. Oh,
We
how
remember
would you go?
telling that certain relative.
Yeah.
Oh, but not your father. Well, I don't know. I don't know your father, but like I can't imagine as a father caring about I have a daughter. She's 11, so she's not dating anybody. But at this day and age, she came home dating the black kid from school. I don't even think anybody would flinch at that. Even my father wouldn't care.
Different times.
Yeah,
No, I know.
different times.
I know, but it's still now.
Yeah.
This was 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah,
it was
so
a
you're talking a
different.
difference about 20, 25 years. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And my dad worked in deep downtown Detroit. You know what I mean?
My dad worked in deep downtown Detroit.
Yeah, like my
Are
dad.
you dating her dad?
My dad helped build the new part of the Detroit airport. You know what I mean? But he was an electrician. So when
Nice. My dad was a mechanic.
so when they called up and Mike is trying to make it sound as worse as possible,
I said,
my dad
Happy Father's Day.
envisioned what
Carmen dates a black guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't talk to you for a year.
Well, you were making it sound a lot worse than what it was. And so my dad finally met him a couple years ago after we rekindled
You
things.
make it like I said it, like he was Ice Cube.
You just made it sound like she only dates black guys and this is how she likes it and this is what they do. And it's like, that's my father, bro.
That's a terrible impression of me.
You know what's fun?
I didn't do it correctly.
There you go. That's much better.
You know what's fun about this conversation? I used to have this joke where I said, once you go black, your white friends never forget. And this
Yes.
conversation is really driving that home for
Yes,
me.
Yeah.
that's Mike. Mike,
It used to be a fun thing with Carmen because it was, I guess it wasn't a long time ago. So, and she's prissy white, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, and I knew that her dad wasn't gonna dig that, but
and since then have dated
Carmen, where are you from in Detroit?
well, I'm from outside Ann Arbor area. I'm
Okay,
Yeah.
I went to school in Ann Arbor, and I'm from Southfield. So.
I'm from Clinton Village.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Clinton Township.
you familiar?
Not,
familiar?
not township, village. So
Oh,
by
worse.
Celine. Yeah, exactly. A little more west.
Yeah.
I want to do a Mother's Day watching a black man tell his mom he's dating a white
Yes.
woman.
Oh, that, which I would imagine, depending on where they're from, could be a lot worse.
Oh, it's the worst. Or
Yeah.
his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I want to get on the show too and be like, hey, I get it.
Yeah. You're extra white.
Oh, I'm actually the
Yeah.
guy I dated in Atlanta. He was a comic though, and his merch that he had when we started dating. This was his merch, and he wouldn't even have to have a joke about me. His merch, and it sold out every time. It just said, "Once you go pale, she'll make you eat kale," and they were like, "Ah!" And it was in the Iron Maiden font.
Yeah.
Kind of genius. To be
know.
honest.
I know.
Pretty great.
So you're not dating that guy?
No, I went from him to a white accountant. So my
Carmen
type
did that
is
too.
breathing.
Wait,
Carmen
what?
Carmen went from a black dude to a redneck for a while, and then went back to the black guy.
Oh my God, is that in my future?
She mixed a couple of Mexican rappers and some other things in there.
That
in the
was
middle.
way before any of
Whatever.
this.
I'm just trying to think of all your boyfriends.
Carmen, you're like one of those people that likes to rescue dogs, but men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Listen, I don't discriminate. If you're nice to me and you open my car door, I have very low standards.
Wow.
That's all
I
it
was just gonna
takes.
say your standards. You're like a door.
Yeah.
She opens a door.
Now tell her your sex fantasy.
Old sex fantasy.
Oh,
I got
what's-
new ones
what's the
now.
new one?
No.
That's been fulfilled.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
She's still here.
Yeah, I want to know the old ones.
I used to, my old sex fantasy was to be kidnapped and, taken
okay.
Sold
against
into a
my
sex
will.
trade
All right.
in
And now what's your
Abu
new one?
Dhabi.
What's your new run? Stuck porn?
Yeah. You the
You're like,
opposite
I
of
just wanna
kidnapped.
get
You cannot
stuck
be
in a
taken.
dryer.
You're
Now she
stuck
tells
there.
her dad she's dating a black guy and he's interested too. That's her new fantasy.
No.